What's going on, everybody? So we've been talking a lot about Donald Trump and Axl Rose and Axl's politics, and what's been going on the last week with the U.S. election. And Axl tweeted something new about 17 hours ago. So he tweeted out, "Good people don't listen to, acknowledge, nominate, or elect people like Senator Jeff Sessions." So if you guys have been watching the news, there's of course Donald Trump's not president yet. He's president-elect. He'll be coming in office in January sometime. And right now there's all this news about, okay, who's he going to pick as part of his cabinet? And there's all these names kind of getting thrown around. And one of these people is Jeff Sessions, who, depending on what news organization you're reading, is either a good conservative or a terrible person. And, there's some stuff he did 30 years ago that has a lot of people upset. There's some people who think that, okay, he did stuff 30 years ago, but he's done some stuff recently that's actually not that bad. And somebody on Twitter, and this is probably one of many examples, is anytime you put anything political on Twitter, you're going to get a backlash. See, this guy wrote, "You are a psychologically damaged human. I don't think your opinion on politics should be taken any more seriously than Glenn Beck. I've never seen anybody on Twitter go, 'Oh, I respect your opinion, but I disagree with you.'" It's always so negative and mean and vitriolic. And as much as I love Axl, I think he's a great frontman. If I were in his position, I would never talk about politics because, it can only go wrong from here. But the thing I do admire about GN'R is that they've never really been in people's face about politics. They're not like Pearl Jam, whose music I like, but I just don't like, the fact that they're so, in everyone's face with their political opinions and stuff like that. I think it turns a lot of people off. And, I was looking on the GNR forums, and somebody had a really good point about this. Somebody said, well, Jeff Sessions is, and regardless of whatever you think about him, I sort of don't really have a whole opinion on the whole thing, but yeah, the one really good point somebody made up is that, okay, this guy's getting scrutinized for something he said 30 years ago, but if you guys remember 30 years ago, Axl got scrutinized for the song One in a Million, and was called all sorts of names for lyrics that, he thought wasn't offensive or maybe were misinterpreted. And they sort of drew a parallel between that and, the whole Jeff Sessions thing. But I'm kind of surprised Axl made such a public statement because, you remember the old Axl back in the day? He would go on stage and do an epic rant about whatever was bothering him. And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. And maybe he's a little shy to do that because people now have cell phone cameras and, they would put it up on the internet. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Guns is going to be playing a concert in a couple days here, and maybe he'll make a statement about it on stage. But let me know your thoughts. I think it's really sad that in this day and age, because somebody has a different opinion than you, you're totally just not going to listen to them and you're going to insult them. I don't know, just the way I grew up is I was surrounded by people who had different opinions than me, and that was cool. We just don't talk. We have friends who come from all different spectrums of politics, and we just don't talk about politics when we hang out, and we get along totally great. So, that's just my whole opinion on the whole thing. So, let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think Axl should be making a statement? Are you guys in the mood for an epic rant from Axl when he goes on stage next time? Comment below and let me know. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news. Take care.